Good morning, guys and girls. Emma again. Welcome back to the spare room. I've been making these little engines off camera, I guess. I've got a couple of sets of frames that look like this. I need wheels, and they're 1 3/8 diameter and 7/8 diameter on the front. They're fairly basic. The middle ones don't have tyres. So I've 3D printed these, and I've made up we've started on a silicone mould to cast some in pewter, and we'll put steel tyres on them afterwards. So I thought I'd just give people a look at this process. It's a bit interesting, I guess, and a lot of people have asked about it. It's all over the web, and it's a fairly common thing that people do. So if you want to Google it a bit more, you'll find more information, or YouTube search it. I've just made a box in 2 parts. Like that. And I filled it up with plasticine to give us a parting line in the middle. And I've got a pretty good impression here, with 4 acorn knots to locate the other side of the pattern. Hopefully I'm just going to slice these off here, and that's 1/2 of the mould. If we put this wheel that we've just cast sands the plasticine back in here nicely, and put this box back together with a little bit of plasticine in the corner to seal the epoxy from leaking out, like such, with a couple of rubber bands around it. Hopefully we should be able to pour the other half and have a 2-piece mould that keys together on these holes and is good for actually pouring some metal. So back on the block and in a container out of the way, and mix up some epoxy. I'm using this, which is an Australian made product. It's Barnes, called Pinky Seal. It's a silicone rubber, fairly fast set, reasonable temperature. I've tested it. I think it's going to be plenty good enough to pour pewter or wax or whatever we decide to do. But I'm going to mix a couple of them up. Going to mix some of that up, put some mould release on this so that they two release together, and I'm just using silicone spray. It probably is totally irrelevant or unnecessary. But we'll do it just to be safe. And we'll pour some of these in here. We've got a nice clean ice cream container to mix it. And when it's poured, I'll stick it on the vibratory tumbler for a while to get the air bubbles out of it, which seems to work pretty well. I'll just clean that little dot of plasticine out of there. Don't think it'll matter much, but we might clean those bits out. So equal parts, the pink part and the white part. I reckon it wants a little bit more than that. nice smooth consistency, and we'll run a bit in here. Anything else you want to cast? Probably not. So there we go. I'll put that on top of the tumbler for a bit and knock some of those air bubbles up to the surface and let it set. It might take, it'll probably be later this afternoon before I take this apart again. So let's have a look. Anyway, that's what I ended up with. This mould's a bit rough and I probably could do better next time. It's stuck together here on the corner. I don't know why. I've lubricated these with a bit of graphite, which seems to work really well. Just clamped them and poured them. I cut these in here just with a blunt knife. I probably should have found a sharp razor blade to do it, but I'm not sure where they are. I think they fell off the end of the bench, but I'll dig around in there later and find them. So I've got 8 wheels, or eight centres for 8 wheels. I'm sort of guessing that this might work. I've got 3mm centre silver steel for the axles, and I'll probably, for a start, I'll make one. I just machine each end nice and make them the right length, and set these up and drill them. They're a bit rough on the back, but I don't think that'll matter anything. Probably the 3D print could be a whole lot better, but we'll live with that, and maybe they'll clean up a bit on a bit of wet and dry. They're sort of all different thicknesses on top because they got, or on the back because they got sort of squashed. Some of them when I did them up in the vise to pour them. A little bit more rigid rubber would probably be better. Anyway, I think there's 8 wheels there that we could probably work with. So next job I think for me will be to drill these and machine the outsides and make some tyres. We'll see how that goes in another video maybe, or we won't. This little engine was designed, oh well, intended to be off video camera engine, but we'll see how we go. Thanks for watching, guys and girls. Don't forget to check out my Patreon page. There's a new video up there too, and hopefully I'll get onto some meaningful content. Check out the playlist too for the video competition. That's all about having fun. If you've got an entertaining video about making a tool with one piece of stock or not, let me know. Send me an email and I'll put it in the competition. Anyway, time to get on with these. Thanks for watching. Be kind to each other, and more soon.